All right. Welcome everyone to the final day of the chess tournament. We're all quite excited. We've got an excellent game to start us off. We've got a combination of both marks, and actually they're starting straight away. So yeah, it looks like they're just going for the e4 e5 approach. And yeah, I'm just sharing Drito's camera so everyone can have a look at you.
Do you send me the?
Oh yeah,
game link
I'll
as
send you the link. Yeah, of course.
well? Cheers.
Yeah. Okay, it's in that text channel. I've just posted that there. Okay, cool. Yeah, so they've gone for the four knights, which is pretty textbook. This is how you play chess. I was chatting with the guys a bit before this game, and they basically said this is the only sort of chess that they know. They don't know any other openings whatsoever. So
It's fair enough. It's solid.
it is solid.
It does what it needs to do.
Exactly, and you've got like nice, straightforward development, like with your bishops going on these diagonals, and your knights in quite nice places. You've each got a bit of the centre. You can castle easily. Like, it's just solid all round, really.
Yeah. I think classically you prefer to play c4, but it is what it is.
C4.
Yeah, as a bishop to c4 instead of
I
bishop
see.
to e5.
Yeah,
I mean, it's personal preference.
You've got this is the Rio Lopez, isn't it? Or like one sort of kind
Yeah.
where you're sort of attacking that knight.
Alright, welcome everyone.
Except
Johnny, Johnny, can you mute the stream? Is that alright? Yeah. Okay, so Johnny's actually joining us in the commentating booth as well.
Hey,
So,
hey Johnny.
Hey guys.
yeah, how you doing?
Good, yeah, sorry I'm late. I lost track of time.
Yeah, no problem.
I could play some chess.
Yeah.
This is the big one, the one we've all been waiting for, I think.
Yeah, we get to find out who's best mark. I think that's been the thing that chat's been hyping up the most.
Bit of a blunder here. If you go for the check and try and take the casting rights away from black. I mean, I know you can block with queen to e7, but using tempo. Oh no, he can't. If he goes e1, then so he just takes away the casting rights. Bishop back to e7, I guess, might be the only good move. But he doesn't see it, or doesn't go for it, regardless.
Yeah, so you're talking about last move for white, right? I think it's actually
e1. I think would be a good move. Force the bishop back.
it's actually liking d3 as well as just the rook to the e1, which I think was your suggestion, wasn't it? Yeah. But
I'm not like castling. Black not castling. He needs to get his king out of the center.
Yeah, it's very vulnerable. Just either rook or queen over to the e file and it's in check. And yeah, as you say, it could easily just lose its casting rights, which isn't what you want. Yeah, I did notice this in Mark's last games yesterday. Actually, the 7 pawns not moving. You got that first pawn that moves to the centre, and then you just leave the rest of them on the second rank. I'm talking about Mark Leith, by the way. You can't just call them Mark.
I'm just gonna go with white and black at this point.
White and black. That's probably the best way to identify them for sure.
Oh, now definitely e1 has to be a good move. Like, completely takes away the casting rights. Oh no, doesn't see it. Now black has castle, so it's okay. All is good in the world.
Okay.
Johnny's on the wrong stream now to comment it. But,
Oh, what's this? Is he just in the wrong voice channel?
Yeah. I'll message him on WhatsApp and see him.
Yeah. If you do that, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been quite spicy already. I like this. Yeah, both players in the break were saying how they really want to avoid the tiebreaker situation because they do not like the 3-minute chess. So both games are going to be high pressure, even if you win the first one, because you just don't want to don't want that possibility. Of course, we do. We want to see the tiebreaker.
Hey, sorry guys, I left because I can't get the link to the live game, so I didn't want to mess it up by commentating something I can't see.
It's in the
it's
in the chat. If you go to the bottom chat in the text channels, it should be there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Also, you're echoing a bit.
Yeah, I think you might have the stream open. That might be the reason why there's a bit of an echo.
Sorry.
No problem. Alright, so Black does have a slight advantage here. They are a pawn up in material, which explains part of the story, but they've also got quite the active queen, which is threatening the king a little bit.
And the G3 move was just not good for white, and it's just completely exposing itself, especially with the white bishop still being active.
Yeah, I completely agree. So now White's offering the queen trade, and I imagine he will go for it. He does. It just simplifies the position, and if you're already ahead in material, just
Well, now he's got a pass pawn, so if you
Yeah.
can try and get the rook to protect it.
Well, it's not really
Yeah.
past pawn because it's still got the. It's just like semi in a way. Like there's no black
I
pawn
mean,
in
it's
front of
technically a
it.
pass pawn because there's no pawns that can attack it, right? That's the definition of a pass pawn.
Right, you're talking about the one on e4, right? Or are you talking about black?
So
Sorry.
the black
Yeah,
take
yeah.
pawn. I think that's
Yeah.
why black is so much up on the engine, even
Actually,
though
yeah,
he's
that's
only up on one material.
That is a very good point, actually. Yeah, this black pawn on d4, can't be attacked by any other pawns, so it's got to be tackled some other way.
Yeah. I think maybe going like rook to d8, pushing the pawn up, taking it away, and then like taking that pawn and protecting it with a rook would be like a good strategy, perhaps. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's possible.
Yeah, there's quite a nasty move that black can play here, which is bishop to g4, which is just putting a lot of pressure on this rook, which doesn't have many places to go at this point. Only place to escape is c2, which isn't exactly doing anything for him.
Yeah, pretty passive.
Okay, that's a
What? He
mistake.
just hung his bishop.
Yeah, that's
That happens.
yeah. Yeah, and indeed, he takes it. took me a second to actually notice that one. So people on stream will probably notice I did the wrong arrow, but oh well.
Now white has a pass pawn, so
Yeah.
Strategy to get rid of the bishop in order to get this pass pawn.
oh come on, that's not great though, because the rooks are both active still. So and worst case, black can just take it with his bishop. I mean, I know he wouldn't be up on material, but
Yeah.
like that's never becoming a queen.
Yeah, and you can just even block it with one of his rooks, right?
Or
That's less good. He probably should have just taken with the b pawn.
I guess, for example, now he can just go forward one square with the pawn. I guess it's going to be hard.
no, the bishop's covering it, but he would have to push e7 first and then push.
Yeah, the bishop on h3 is covering that d7 square.
Well, actually, it would have been a decent move because if he take, actually maybe not, probably not. It's probably better just to keep the tension. Yeah, I think for white, e7 and pushing the pawn might be a good idea, and it attacks the b7 pawn as well. So
I also just like activating the rook on the one row. Just get it involved in the game. It can do a lot of good.
yeah, it's what he's done now. That bishop is protected, but it stops that pawn being pushed too. So, or I mean, I guess if he pushes, he can't take the bishop because his rook would be hanging. But
Yeah.
a lot of places where either player could make a mistake. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, indeed.
But yeah, Black needs to take the extra material advantage and just simplify and win the end game, I think.
I mean, it looks like moving that pawn forward sort of offers it up to the castle if he wanted to do it.
Yeah, he goes for it, and that was one of the better moves that he could have gone for, because now he's offering this rook trade where he just takes back with
offering this trade, yeah, which is what Black wants to naturally do anyway. So that wasn't a great move for White.
Yeah,
loses the pawn and then loses some sort of tactical advantage.
Exactly.
And he has does he take, because now he's pinned himself with the bishop to g4, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just not good for White at all. Yeah, because if he does that move, bishop to g4, he will pick up one of these rooks.
Yeah.
And he can block momentarily with a pawn, but that's not going to be a long-term solution.
No.
Oh, but I wonder if he'll notice that move now.
Yeah, he might not see it. I know. Not missing moves in the midst of a game is definitely possible.
Yeah, it's also a backwards bishop move, and that bishop's kind of locked in the corner. You're kind of forgetting about it a little bit. That is just a hung pawn. He can just take that with the rook. That's
yeah. That wasn't
that
you might not see it, but yeah, not great. Not great.
Yeah, if he's freaking out a little bit, he might want to be protecting the rook. Move the rook out the way is probably what he might be thinking, but that wouldn't be very good for
him.
him.
I think d3 is actually pretty strong for White because it reinforces this pawn too.
Yeah.
The d6 pawn.
Yeah,
and he can just push and maybe promote. Especially with the other rook, he can push that to e8 at some point, force a rook trade, and then so he doesn't see it.
That's unfortunate.
That offers the d2 push.
And there's even this nasty idea of g5 as well, which is protected by the rook and attacking the bishop. And that bishop doesn't really have many places that it can go either. Okay, but pushing the pawn further is it's just solid, and White can't take it with the rook because it's protected by the bishop.
Coming next.
And
that would force the promotion.
Okay, now it's a mate in 4 if he does this rook c1.
Ooh.
I don't think he's going to see it, but I think taking back with the bishop is a pretty safe move. It's not negative in any way. So I think realistically that's what he's going to go for. Because often when you're going very aggressive and then your opponent gets a queen, you get a bit hesitant. I know it's protected anyway by the rook, but
we've got some quite. He finds the move.
He sees it. Nice.
Yeah. Okay, mate in 3 now. Yeah, we've got some quite funny chat going on Twitch. People saying, "Go Mark for the win." I think Mark will win is another comment, which seems quite safe.
This is just checkmate, right?
It's mate in 2 because he can bring the rook back, but he needs to spot that he shouldn't fall for it, and now it's a mate in 1. Only one legal move, which is to bring the rook back, and then it's game.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, that concludes game 1. Mark L taking the advantage in the matchup. Do you have any thoughts on this at all?
It was very, very even, right, until that bishop hand.
Yeah. And where was that?
Move 17.
Is it rook move 17?
Or 17, 18, yeah.
Yeah, because it was hovering around -2, -3 before that point, and then you're just down so much material and you're in a bad position. So it's always going to be a struggle.
Even with that piece disadvantage, it's not obviously it gives you a lot of momentum having a minor piece. I don't think White played particularly well even when down material, but it gives you a psychological thing, right?
Yeah.
When you're down material.
Yeah, it's
Because
true.
like missing a few critical moves, like taking a pawn, for example, would have maybe been decent. Pushing the pawn in certain ways might have helped, but it's difficult.
Okay, I'm just looking at chat again. Lel Wutwut saying he's a big fan of you, Adrito.
I'll take that. That's probably Luke, I suspect. So.
Nice. More chat about Mark. You're clearly a fool. It is Mark that will win. Wow, you must be chess blind, friend. Mark is by far the better player. Okay, at least they're having fun with this. That's good.
Well, in the finals, you can. I don't know what Killian and Ronan's surname is, but we could make that into a joke too.
Yeah, I think it's done. It's something I've learned recently. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can even make a pun out of that. So.
Yeah, chat gets work. You know what you need to do. Yeah, Nick saying Mark L taking a big L. Well, I think actually he won this game, didn't he? So I don't think that's an L. But yeah, okay. Well, we're going to cut to a short break before we set up the next game. So yeah, stick around and we'll be back with you shortly. You know how the pieces move, but openings and all that sort of stuff is quite foreign. Certainly it was to me as well. Certainly going back to the opening of the first game, we had an opening that I was completely unfamiliar with, and actually even Ralph said that he wasn't very familiar with it either.
Okay.
So yeah, that's quite a tricky one.
I meant to go to D4 or D5, and my mouse slipped and ended up on D6 or whatever it was. So I was like, I'll just play this opening, I guess.
I didn't have a clue.
Oh, that's amazing.
Luckily, I didn't make any other slips.
We all thought that it was legitimate because your rating's so high.
No. I was going for a Scandinavian. Fuck that up.
So I think I spotted in the other chat that you'd already started looking at your who you may be going up against. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm up against Nick. Right?
Yes, that's right. And Mark, you may be going against me if I lose my next game.
I know.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
All right.
The host.
Exciting times, yeah.
You want to do a takedown of the host? Is that your ambition?
I would love that. I was throwing that game. I wanted to be against you anyway. So
John, if someone beats you, do they become the host?
That should be how it works. I just give away my Twitch channel.
Should be.
Yeah,
definitely.
What on earth is this? What on earth is this move? Right, okay, I'm just going to do what I'm comfortable with, as I do not know what that is at all. Interesting. What's that doing? Right, let's think this through. If he does that, you can't block it. So then he has to escape or something, and then he loses his right to castle. Is that good for me? It feels marginal. Actually, I feel like that might be okay. I haven't just blunted this, have I? So what I'm thinking is if he does this, bishop there, and I take his queen. So he should move here. And yeah, there's nothing, he can't move his knight to block it, or his bishop. No moves, no pawns to block it either, so he has to move his king. Actually, was that checkmate? Did I just miss checkmate? No, yeah, he had that move. Okay, I didn't miss that there. I don't really want to be taking his knight because that's just helping him. So I think I won't do that. I'd quite like to crack open his defense a little bit though. If I do that, he takes with his king. That feels good. Oh, interesting. Okay, so he's going for that. Yeah, I think I can take. And that'll simplify things, I think, in my favour. And then I take with the pawn. And he takes, I take, he takes, and now we're in this situation. I can maybe try something like that. No, that's terrible. What am I thinking? Oh, that looks good for me. So checking his king, attacking his rook. So I think I should be able to kind of wrap up after this. It's just making sure I don't make mistakes from here on out. Oh, is he trying to stalemate? Oh, that's clever. Okay. Right, I just got to make sure that I check him every turn. And okay, yeah, I think this is done now. Can go this way. Yeah, I've got to give him credit though for not giving up. Yeah, that's quite admirable actually. If I hold on. If I do something like that, he takes. The idea being that, right? Let's give it a go. Why not? See what he comes up with. How do I feel about that? How do I feel about that? Am I just trapping my queen if I go here? Maybe. What else could he do? No other blocking moves, so just move his king here. I think I'm okay with the trade. Well, that looks like a free pawn. That looks like a fork. And that's protected there, so now we can save this pawn. Actually, do we even want to? Probably not. I think just progress it. Yeah, no, actually, that would have been hanging, so it's best that we saved that one. Would I trade? Okay, if I do this, he takes, I take, he takes, and I get a queen. Yeah. Let's not stalemate here. Ideally he takes, yeah, okay, that makes it a lot easier. Alright, and we are back, and before we start the next game, massive apologies to to Mark Leith. I had the name tags the wrong way round for the last game, so you're all rooting for the wrong person, whichever side you're on, and I'm very sorry about that. That was a big mistake on my end. So yeah,
okay. It was Mark either way.
Yeah. I mean, if you're just supporting Mark, I think you can just claim that you were right. So no problems there.
Yeah, in some ways it's an absolute shambles, but the guy that called Mark to win is still right. So he's still happy.
Exactly.
No changes.
Beat the bookies with this one simple trick. Okay, yeah. So they're just getting ready to go again. So we're just waiting for that. Shall we go through some of the comments in the meantime?
Sure.
Okay, so AMC Vey saying, I think it's only fair to award Mark F a game for the confusion. Yeah, we can't do that. Mark Leith won this fair and square, so we're
Looks
not.
like they started now.
Yeah, they started, and as expected, they've gone for E4, though a different opening from Mark F, shaking things up a little bit.
Caro-Kann defense. I mean, if he actually knows the line, it's actually a very good line. White should just take here.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to. That was a solid move.
Yeah, that was.
But now he should take for sure. Yeah, I think both of them have actually been looking at the last stream from yesterday, and so they may have picked this one up from that. That's my suspicion.
Yeah. So the main part of the Caro-Kann defense is you give away this D pawn if they take it, but you get a very active queen and very active pieces.
Yeah.
So like, it's like if you know the opening well, you can get some good attacks with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And he finds the only good move that sort of kept the advantage going, sort of messing up Black's pawn structure, and now he has no pawns on either the D or the E column.
And Black decides to remove his central pawn to free up his bishop rather than
mess up his potential like kingside castle pawn structure.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fair trade. I mean, that's like a pretty even game. It's just how aggressive you want to play.
Yeah. And the only good move for Black that keeps the advantage for him is this knight A6, which is very hard to find. So I doubt we'll see
no way he's going to see that.
Yeah, it's very unnatural just putting your knight on the rim. And if you've paid any attention to the previous streams, you'll know that, as we say, knight on the rim is dim. So.
I
it's
don't particularly
not a
like
good
that
place for
move
it.
either.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I agree. For one thing, it's
like
not
the use of your
really
queen is always a
doing
bit
much.
dodgy.
Yeah, it's not doing much. It can't move on the diagonal over to the A side of the board. So yeah, it's kind of like a nothing move there. Though, what are they suggesting? Just trade the bishops.
I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
And then you're pretty even. No one's really got any good minor pieces out if they trade. You mess up a bit of the structure, maybe. I don't know. Queen takes probably the best move, but decides not to do that. I mean, I think that's pretty fair as well.
Yeah. And you know, black still has the advantage here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think white's going to have to commit to casting on the queen side.
Queen side, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because his pawn structure on the king side is just, you know, that's offering no protection whatsoever.
That's, again, don't like that, loses a pawn in that process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's probably a mistake. Just about. Don't know if he's got any particular plan in mind.
Yeah, and then his queen all night has to babysit the f3 pawn after.
Yeah, it can't get any protection from any of the other pawns because there aren't any on the E or G.
Yeah, it's completely isolated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and babysitting it is actually quite a good way of putting it.
I think the check's fine, just block with the bishop, castle. Black's doing well.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, of course I should say I'm rooting for Mark F here, since he beat me in the last game.
Yeah, and then you can claim you actually second. So.
Exactly.
Also, we want to see tiebreakers. That's number one rule of this stream is we want to see tiebreakers because they are amazing fun.
Yeah, white could be in a lot of trouble here. Castle and then like rook to E8 completely pins the king to the queen.
I think he just blundered the bishop there.
Oh yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah, that's just a complete blunder.
Yeah,
So,
that's free. That's free.
Unfortunate. But that's great news for Mark F. So Mark F is back in the game now.
Yeah.
He's now the favorite to
Yeah,
win.
I mean, I wouldn't call it as game over. Anything can happen.
Definitely.
which mark do we want to win for the tiebreak?
We want Mark F, the one who is currently winning.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have got the name tags the right way around this time. So, yeah, and actually going back to some of these comments, AMC Vey saying he won on stream. He's got video evidence. Yeah, sorry about that. And he'll see me in court. Okay.
I think I'm thinking for White here, probably castling, right? I mean, he's got that one pawn attack.
He can't castle.
He
Castle
can't.
check.
Yeah, he can't castle through check because the queen's covering the C1 square. Alright, yeah, he's offering the queen trade, and you know, he has lots of options. He doesn't have to go for it, but it is probably the most obvious.
When you're a piece down is usually a bad move, though I guess he will have both of his pawns in the centre if he does. Maybe that's something for it, but usually I think that would probably not be What's the engine say? The engine says it's fine, I think, right?
Yeah, and actually, you know, if he just decides to retreat his queen, it's roughly the same sort of strength as just going for the queen trade. And he does go for the queen trade.
I think the trade is fine.
Yeah, and it just means that the queens are off the board. You don't have to worry about them. So.
Opposite side castling too.
Already defending that pawn, right? So that's probably pretty useful.
Perhaps you guys can help me out with this one. James has asked, is John the Sepp Blatter of chess? Who's Sepp Blatter? And is this a massive insult?
I don't get the reference, so
Okay.
can't provide any commentary on that.
Any idea, Johnny?
What was it? Sorry, the
Sepp Blatter.
Sepp Blatter.
I have no idea who that is. I'm also afraid of Googling it. So, perhaps one of you can do that for me.
Just trying to see if there's any really good moves to black here. Yeah, I guess that's as good as any.
Yeah, just
Here,
like
White should
offering
just
more
push.
trades.
You want to keep those central pawns, I would think.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's protected by the rook.
So the idea of c3 here, if he does go for the take with the pawn, you retake the centre with your c pawn taking back.
Yeah. Ooh.
And he's
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's good.
I was kind of thinking that was one of the big advantages of White's position. He's got those 2 pawns.
Yeah,
Mm.
we're just giving it.
On the d-file, which just perfectly allows you to push the pawns.
Yeah,
yeah.
and he's lost this other central pawn. What? He doesn't take? What?
I would definitely
I'm
Why would you-
surprised. I'm surprised.
I mean,
know,
not,
what's it like?
you
Why
know,
would you not take that? You undouble your pawns.
it would undouble the pawns as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, whatever. And now he's, yeah. I mean, I guess he's got this this f7 pawn anyway to take when he advances, but still.
Yeah. I mean, it's like an inaccuracy, but it's not like game breaking.
Yeah, it's so minor, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. I would like to see Black just like start advancing his H pawn a bit, just so we can't
Yeah.
get back ranked. Because that we've seen a lot of times when players are an advantage, they can still get back ranked, as Johnny had in a couple of games ago.
Oh my god, don't bring that up. Yeah.
Trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like that one because at least it picks up like a pawn. You're trying to take back some.
Yeah, could
something.
potentially pick up the pawn.
But he has to deal with check first. And
I guess knight takes.
yeah, and then you
up
can
the pawn.
take the pawn.
Yeah. You do what you can in these scenarios, right?
Yeah.
When you're down this much material.
Okay, so James is clarifying Sepp Blatter is a very handsome actor in the hit movie United Passions. I mean, that sounds like fake news to me, but I'll go with it. Oh wait, is it the UEFA guy? I don't know.
So Black had a pretty triple form here on f3,
Just
where we'd
ignore it.
attack both rook and both pawns. I mean,
Yeah.
it's defendable with e2 after, but still, I'd like to see a bit more aggression.
Mm. Yeah, and just advancing the pawn makes it secured by the knight, so it's kind of too late to defend it. He goes for this idea instead. I feel like that knight could be dislodged by a move like rook d7,
Yeah.
or even c3, which would be quite nice.
I just think at this point, like, Black's kind of run out of ideas.
Yeah, a
I
little
think
bit.
both players have just run out of ideas.
Mm.
They're just playing like sort of like random esque moves and hoping for some.
And
or
you
something like
you
that.
can tell that they are more comfortable moving their like pieces, like the rooks and the knight, because
Yeah,
these
rather than
pawns
pawns.
have not moved at all.
I mean, to be honest, if I was Black, I would be thinking about trying to do some trades. I mean,
Yeah, you just want to trade everything off.
Yeah.
For example, what do you guys think about castle to b8, for example? Then that offers a castle trade while still protecting
No,
the pawn.
because he loses the pawn right on a7.
No, so moving the other castle, sorry.
Oh yeah.
And there's actually quite a nice idea for black that's coming up, which is pushing the pawn on the f7 to f6, because that
E6
pawn
is
can't
covered,
take it.
yeah.
That pawn on the e5 can't take it.
Doesn't get it.
That's a good idea. Let's see if he'll spot that.
No,
So he's
well, his knight was hanging, so he probably shouldn't have taken that at that point.
No.
This is fine though. It's double attack. You'll win the
Yeah.
pawn.
Rook to f1 eyes up both the pawn and the knight, though the knight can just go to h4 to both simultaneously protect the knight and defend the pawn. So it's not like
I would just take
a
this
winning
exchange,
strategy,
right?
but
Rook f1, take the e5 pawn. Yeah, you lose the f5 pawn, but does it really matter? Like you've got rid of White's only attack at that point,
yeah.
and your knight's still defended. So
Yeah, very true.
okay.
Okay, yeah,
Takes
he's just
h2 pawn.
eating pawns,
I think that's
which is
fair
also
enough.
fine. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It's got a safe square at g2. Then attack this e5 pawn again after.
And I suppose this gives him some ideas in the endgame as well. He's got 4 pawns on the left side. So if he wants to push them when trades have happened at the end, then that's probably going to
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, Black's definitely playing this correctly. He's just taking the pawns off,
Yeah.
and then he can just advance.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed.
And they've got plenty of time, 7 minutes, so definitely should be fine.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and this free pawn there,
Oh,
and then potentially a d3 pin if the third rank rook moves. Sorry, fourth, not pin.
oh yeah. So if he goes to d3, you're talking about
Yeah, like if this rook moves for whatever reason.
be a nice one. If he pushes the pawn, maybe f4. Oh no, you could just move the other castle.
Yeah. Yeah, so like exactly in this scenario, he's won the rook now.
Yeah, d3. Let's see
yeah.
if he finds it.
Knight d3, but it doesn't materialise. Yeah, then you have the pawn. Sorry, the
might get
pawn.
another shot. Let's have a look.
He might do.
Yeah, he needs to sort out that rook on b4, or that also covers it. Yeah, because
I imagine Mark L's probably spotted that now and regretted having moved on. You can ask him about that in the interview after.
Maybe not. It is a slightly more awkward fork sort of picture than the ones that you're usually used to. So
Yeah. I think Black, just needs to go like h5, just advance these pawns down. Like you've got 3 connected pawns.
So he's moved the rook forward onto the 7th row. Oh yeah. So that was what the move was waiting for.
Yeah, doubling his rooks is good.
yeah, it is solid for sure. And
It means that he is he'll never lose this rook now.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if he goes like f8 with his king, and then he just pushes these pawns. Like they're completely connected. He could never. White can never take it with a rook. If he does it correctly.
F4 is a tasty move now. Yeah, he couldn't have done it before because it would have been hanging with the rook on the 4th row. But now that rook's re-maneuvered, it's a possibility, and he goes for it.
He sees it. Good move.
Okay, let's go back to some of these comments.
He's
Oh,
pushing it on.
he's now got the pass forward, hasn't he? He can just go for it. Especially if he moves 1 square.
Yeah, he
that's
also
a great
had this idea, checking the king again with a knight if he wanted to, and then that would have him winning the rook on e4.
How? Sorry, what move?
So the knight to d3 puts the king in check, and then he wins the rook with his other rooks with a discarded
if you were
attack.
to take, yeah.
So I think he can just push the f pawn again here, right? And repeat the same strategy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's solid. He needs to
Mark.
figure out that he needs to actually physically block this. Rook f2 sort of
It
idea.
doesn't work because he gets forked by d3. So
Well, I think nothing at this stage really works.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
That's a solid move too.
Mhm.
This is great playing by Mark F. I mean, he played really well in the game against me, so
Yeah.
again.
He has to sack this rook. Like he needs to go like e5, lose the rook, take g forward check, and then try and pick up this like f3 rook, f3 pawn. Sorry. It's a suicide, but you have to try something.
Yeah, he has to at some point, no matter what he does, like that is the best thing for him is just attacking this knight because he doesn't really
He's
have a
doing
choice
so
anymore.
much work.
And this isn't going to work.
Yeah,
and
now he's lost the fork.
yeah,
right?
he's got another fork if he spots that, and he does. He does.
Sees it this time.
Yeah, and that was quick as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he must have been seeing that for like that knight's been there for like 10 moves now. So
Yeah.
Well, hats off to Mark F. Fantastic.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I think this is done.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
he
see, that
still
was an
needs
inaccurate
to.
reaction.
He still needs to sort this out, but yeah, there is a mating pattern here.
I don't really trust inaccuracies late in the game. I kind of think the chess engine sort of doesn't really know what happens in the end game.
That's inaccuracy for me. I don't have an engine.
Oh, he's going for another rook trade idea.
This was a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
This is unstoppable. The king can never get into the game now.
And yeah, the idea is just promote this pawn, and there's nothing White can do.
It is, yeah, you can't even get to F4 to even attack it. Queens with check.
You put a crab over.
Yeah, you can hear that, can you?
Checkmate. There we go.
I didn't even know it was a checkmate.
Yeah. So yeah, queen's covering this way and that way, and the other rook is covering the rest of the spaces. So yeah, very nicely done. Yeah, we have tiebreakers in store. So yeah, we'll try and sort those ones out. So stay tuned while we set those up. Colours reversed. So clearly they liked it last time.
White could do is push his pawn up 2 more, and then he gets 4 pawns in a row, which we wouldn't know if we win the game.
Maybe Nick's thinking, if I just don't hang my king like last time.
Yeah.
Ouch. He finds that the bishop was just left hanging. It's going to be a lot harder for White to catch up now. He's saying that the losers bracket is going to be a bloodbath. I think I agree. It's going to be quite tough. Lots of interesting people in there, and that is a massive shift. So I can't see this actually. What's going on here? Queen takes e6. Oh, that's potentially quite nasty. Yeah, sorry, what was that, Matt?
I was just saying, it looks pretty threatening over here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The advantage is gone. It was only dangerous if he spotted that queen takes e6 move. Any other move, and it would be back down to neutral.
Yes, then he can win with check on the knight maybe. And no, then I just get taken.
Yeah, I think the reason why that is so dangerous is because this d-file rook is going to have quite a lot of synergy with the queen in quite an advanced square like that.
Oh, but he can do the same thing again.
Yeah, same option. It very well could be that neither player spots this the entire game, and we'll just see the bar swinging every single turn. Question is, and he spots it.
Yes.
He spots it.
Taking it, nice.
Yeah. It's going to be hard for Josh, which is quite interesting, because if Nick manages to pull this off and win this game, we will have our first tiebreaker of the competition.
Let's see the correct move, please.
I think this one's quite hard to spot, and any other move won't be nearly as good, but the advantage will still be quite high. So the idea here is that, actually, Ralph, do you know it?
I assume it's knight takes f6 check. The bishop can't move because it's pinned by the queen. If the knight moves, beautiful.
Yeah,
then the queen can be taken.
He did take it, and there's a possibility of mating 1 here if he moves the king to f8, which is, and he does. Mating 1 if he moves the bishop to h6, and the question is, does he spot it? It's not the most obvious checkmate.
I mean, maybe he's going to tank on the moving the queen.
Yeah, very, very possible. But if he takes his
And he's
time,
taking his time. He's got a long time to go. He knows us.
he has 7 whole minutes to come up with this move, and now is the time to really invest.
Take your time, yeah.
All on the edge of our seats. He finds it.
Found it. That's great.
That is classy. That is incredibly classy.
Oh, that is a very nice checkmate.
Yeah.
So the one opportunity he had after giving away a piece. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Committing to casting on the queen side, though you'll see that his own queen is not on the same side as his opponent's king, so it's not going to be involved in any attack. Whereas,
And,
yes,
he's forking,
that's such a good move.
Lovely move. And no matter what.
Yeah, and that's gone. And I think that was the correct move, because now he needs to switch his queen over to sort of F to H side of the board, so that he can do some sort of attack towards Black's king. So I think I agree with that move. Oh, that's blundering the bishop.
Even though I take the bishop. Yeah.
Yeah. Now he can't trade a queen for a rook,
Nice.
because that's not going to be any good. So that's quite a crafty little move there, and
And then he's lost the queen.
he's lost.
Jack.
Yeah. Good point. It was check. So he didn't lose it quite at that point.
Yeah.
But certainly
All the pieces are disappearing now.
he's in a bad way, and that wasn't a bad move. He's pinning the black rook that's next to the king, but it's not going to do much against help.
Ooh.
Oh, even.
Yeah,
No, everything's done.
that was
That's
excellent. That was excellent by Nick. Well done to him for spotting that tactic.
Taking advantage of having all of the time in this game.
Yes, and Josh only 12 seconds. He only gains 1 second per move. He's
But he
startering.
gets all the pieces. You know? Maybe he
yeah.
can just move the pawn all the way down and take
Yeah, certainly he has some attacking ideas, and Nick
We
should
really need
be.
to see some free moves here.
I wonder if he's got them turned on.
Yeah, Nick should be using his time to try and come up with some tricky moves that causes Josh to think. I think that would be the best use of his time, rather than good moves, just tricky ones.
Now this white pawn is very close to.
Yeah, indeed. And they both have the same idea, but I guess Black can just start advancing the other.
As time.
And he won it on time, despite having a disadvantage. He won it on time. That was crazy.
Well, I mean, he needs to.
And he has over a minute left. It tells you something. He's clearly got a talent for these very fast games. Yeah, it's very, very close matches all throughout, and I'm actually impressed with both of you for getting some very beautiful checkmates in each of the first 2 games.
Oh, thanks, man.
We do it for the fans.
Yeah, we just wanted to go out there and put on a good show, I think.
Yeah,
Exactly.
massive fan service.
You fought hard, you fought clean. You know.
Was it that there are quite a lot of complicated moves, Josh, or is 3 minutes quite tough time constraints?
Yeah, 3 minutes is brutal, man, and you get sucked into the game, and then it's just like you're trying to look at all 64 squares and look at the clock. It's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we were obviously both playing the London, and I have no idea how to play against it. Like I play it, but I have no idea how to.
That was the opening in all 3 games, and you're saying that you don't know how to play against it.
I don't. That's so good to uncover some weaknesses in our
That's
game.
why he plays it.
Well, it's unbeatable.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to beat. It's a good opening. So.
First game, you had a checkmate victory by.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a game, but I can't say
Alright,
as a current game.
we are about to start, and actually they've started. I'll repost the link in Discord for you, Madrito. Cool. And I will also change the name tag underneath you so that people actually know it's you rather than Johnny.
It's a Scandinavian.
Yeah, so we're seeing something different yet again. This time from Mark Leith in black. So yeah, the name tags are right at least.
Black already has a slight advantage here, just take correctly.
That was the right move though, because
yeah, indeed. Yeah, so just to explain to everyone at home, what we're doing for the finals is they're now doing, because they drew after those first 2 games, we're now doing 2 games of 5 minutes with 3-second increment. So it's not going to be as chaotic as the usual. But if they draw yet again after those 2 games, we will have the normal 3-minute 1-second increment game that you all know and love. So hopefully we'll have a bit more thoughtful chess, even though it's more time pressure than the previous couple of games. But yeah, should be good.
And of course, we're hoping for wild, chaotic play in these games.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And also,
I don't really see what Black's doing here. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. So Mark was the one that sort of initiated this opening with the Scandinavian defence, but it's White that has the advantage. And yeah, he's being very aggressive with that pawn, and now he's gone for the queen trade, and the only way to take it is to give up your right to castle by taking with the king. So that's actually not so bad.
I think White stabilised very well. Like, if you go back to a couple moves, the knight for the bishop trade wasn't very good for Black. You should keep the bishop on that diagonal and try to go for some sort of fried liver attack, which is attacking the c2 pawn.
Okay.
That's like the correct move. It's like a reverse fried liver, but still. Like,
Yeah,
anyway,
interesting.
doesn't happen. Completely different position now.
yeah, Black should be thinking about. Oh yeah, he's moving like that.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to destroy his pawn structure.
Yeah, which is fair enough, and it didn't have any other places to go really. Other than just back.
The engine is saying is like, White up is a lot here.
Oh, has he cornered the knight now?
Not really. You can move back
no.
and it'll just be a bad pawn structure straight, but still.
Yeah, you don't want to move that b7 pawn really. I mean, that's the beginning of the end sometimes.
Yeah, you're messing up your defensive line, aren't you?
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's his only move, otherwise he loses his knight.
I mean, he could try something like a6 and try and, get the bishop in exchange. That's an alternate idea. That's less good. But we'll see.
It doesn't help though, because the bishop could just go back to a4 and then the pressure would still be there.
Yeah, or even d3. He has his choice of retreating places.
Yeah.
Could even support it with the pawn moving up to a4.
I'd say keeping on a4 would keep the pressure.
Okay, so one correct move is bishop takes g5, and because that's a hung. Well, it's not really
completely
hung.
Completely hung.
Well, it's not, because it's protected by by the bishop, right? So then.
No, as in the b5.
Yeah, sorry, the b5 one is hung. Yeah, you're right.
But taking that wasn't incorrect either, because now both bishops are hanging.
And no, that was the correct move. Taking the bishop with your own bishop. Also with the knight with your bishop.
Either way would have worked though, right? Because his bishop was protected by the knight anyway.
So rook takes b5 followed by knight takes f7.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay, yeah, this is even better for Black. So if he just takes, that would be good. And he does. Yeah, and then he should take the bishop with his bishop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just got
out the way.
A massive
and
material
everything is simplified.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as he moves his knight and doesn't forget it's hanging.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, he should have done the A pawn instead if he was going to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, because his knight is trapped.
Yeah, now the knight has literally nowhere to go. Assuming that the bishop retreats on this diagonal, which it does, now that has nowhere to go. That's a dead knight. And White can recapture the material difference.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. Mark L, I was quite pleased with how he was doing there. He seemed to have recovered that night almost entirely, and then it just slips away.
Now we're back to even Stevens, and
yeah.
And yes, Black has a slightly better board structure. Okay, not now.
Now we're
Not now.
Well, he could do the long retreat, right?
Oh, no. He needs to make sure he does not hang his rook in the corner.
Yeah. That rook is not doing anything. So it needs to get in the game.
Because rook check b8 picks up the knight because you can't protect with the.
He's just hung the rook now. If he moves castle to
Yeah, and then that's dead.
Defending it though with the knight, actually, isn't he?
Yeah, he is defending it with the knight. So it's actually not as bad as we.
Yeah, it's not as bad as we thought. He does the right move. Rook takes is the only good move for white here. Everything else loses the advantage. So he goes for it. Knight takes. Yeah, now we're back to an even
So in
game.
the end game, a bishop should be slightly better because it can see a lot more of the board.
But Black can just hide all of his pieces on the dark squares, right?
Yeah, exactly. But you're only seeing half of the board as well. So it's
that was less good.
He's dropped his major pawn now.
Yeah, and he can't. He can't.
Oh, he does not see it.
Go for it. Yep.
Yeah, I think this could actually still go either way.
Yeah, to be honest, for white, I would be thinking about. Oh no. Yeah, I'd be thinking about trying to take that f7 pawn somehow, and so that he gets himself the passed pawn. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? I mean, there's not a lot to play on, really, is there?
It's going to be difficult.
But that is definitely
it's
the correct way to go.
Yeah. It's a very, very good idea, for sure.
Like, technically in endgames, you're having like a 4-3 majority is good.
Push.
Yeah, e6 is nice here. He could also just take it and just do the exchange. Either is a good option.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Oh, that's not what you want. That's not what you want.
Because now he just loses the pawn entirely.
Yeah. And now we're back to evens. Even a slight positional advantage
because he's got the check fork to pick up the a5 pawn.
But this is a fun game. I mean, I think the three.
It's very sweet.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have much time to actually, find the best moves.
Yeah,
again, this knight to c4 move to pick up that pawn.
How are we doing on Twitch? Twitch is calling a rogue game AMC Bay.
and Lel saying Mark is throwing for content, but which Mark?
Which Mark, exactly. That's the problem.
Yeah.
No one knows.
Okay, so he sees it, he protects. Let's hope they don't miss a pawn promotion like I did yesterday.
Yeah, not a bad idea trying to take that pawn, but it can just move. He has a slight fork possibility, which he finds, but bishop to f5 solves that, protecting the bishop by escaping and defending the pawn. That also works.
Like for a lot of beginners who are watching, basically having a pawn advantage in the endgame is very difficult to convert, especially if they're on the A, B, G, H. It's actually impossible with perfect gameplay. So this should technically be entirely drawn if there were like two grandmasters, obviously.
Yeah.
But we're not, so mistakes can happen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thinking is in these endgames, there's sort of it comes down a lot of the time to, I mean, at least in the kind of games I've played, which isn't particularly high level, comes down to kind of finding a fork, right? Like that knight, eventually he could fork something and win, and equally well.
Yeah, like here, e4 now.
Yeah, knight to e4.
I mean, I understand.
I mean that's not the c3 pawn isn't. It's defended, so it doesn't really work. But
and I feel like the knights typically, the knights get a lot more forks than the bishops. I mean, if his knight is in line with
at low games.
Line there.
So I mean, which one would you pick? I'd probably pick. Oh.
Yeah. So if we go back a couple of moves, he should have moved his bishop to c4 in order to protect the pawn on a6 and still have the bishop protected. But actually now that one pawn advantage is a massive.
Completely winning.
It's a massive thing, and he can just pick up another one, but he misses it. So that was a. Oh no, he couldn't have because it was protected by the bishop. Sorry, I'm being silly.
I still it's still very, very difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously black is ahead now, but I think my previous comment about, so the engine was saying it was 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
I would take the knight, because my experience is that you often get the forks with the knight. So
it's easier, for sure.
Maybe the engine's kind of wrong. Like, I would have gone for the knight every time. I mean, in my game against Kieran...
So what black needs to do...
go on.
Black needs to just give up this a pawn. It's not happening. He needs to try and pick up this c pawn. By attacking it like twice. Yeah, please. Actually, no, it's the opposite, right? He needs to go attack this g pawn twice and then promote the h. That's like his only way of really doing anything.
What, for white?
For black.
Black.
Like, it's very difficult for each player. I mean, I don't know what the engine's really saying. It's like negative 2.5, which doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've got similar time left on the clock as well. I mean...
It's going to come down to who flags first, like, realistically, at this point.
Yeah.
Well, they still get 3 seconds back, so if the position does simplify, like a bishop for knight trade, for example, then I think we'll find that they're not in time trouble at all.
Yes, we've got a comment. We've got a comment here.
If there's a bishop for knight trade, then then black wins, right? So they just can't do that.
And it's a draw by repetition.
Yeah, repetition.
Oh,
interesting.
Well,
that makes the next game a tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's true. That was the first draw of the entire competition as well. So that's chess tournament history, at least for us. So yeah.
Well, that was abrupt.
That was quite abrupt. Yeah, black did have the slight advantage, but just if you repeat 3 moves, then you end up with this drawing rule. So yeah,
which is
that's what
a
happened.
Pretty fair.
Oh
rule.
Yeah.
You don't want it just be boring otherwise.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Cool. Although often there are tactics where you can be in a losing situation, you get repetition, complete, checking repetition. You can draw a game like that. So.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right, we will go for a short break while we try and sort out the next game. So stick around for that, and we'll be back shortly. I think I can take, and that'll simplify things, I think, in my favour. And then I take with the pawn. And he takes, I take, he takes, and now we're in this situation. I can maybe try something like that. No, that's terrible. What am I thinking? Oh, that looks good for me. So checking his king, attacking his rook. So I think I should be able to kind of wrap up after this. It's just making sure I don't make mistakes from here on out. is he trying to stalemate? Oh, that's clever. Okay. Right, I just got to make sure that I check him every turn. And okay, yeah, I think this is done now. Can go this way. Yeah, I've got to give him credit though for not giving up. Yeah, that's quite admirable actually. If I hold on. If I do something like that, he takes. The idea being that, right? Let's give it a go. Why not? See what he comes up with. How do I feel about that? How do I feel about that? All right, and we're back with the next match. It's being set up at the moment. So yeah, I'll just fix the scores since they both picked up half a point. And actually, we're diving straight in.
Oh my god.
And the Caracal defense.
Again,
Yeah, this is
interesting.
absolutely tantalising. I mean, this must be one of the biggest events going on nowadays. I mean, football's cancelled. A lot of these sports things going on. There's no Olympics this summer. Like, this is the big event. I think Mark v Mark. Everyone's going to remember it.
We went for the exchange variation this time, which is like the more beginner-friendly variation because it's fewer things to think about.
Yeah, that's a very good comment.
Both players have played this completely solid so far. This is completely mainline.
Yeah.
So can't really comment on anything on bookwork.
Yeah, indeed. And yeah, just very even game. They're playing like solidly both sides. So yeah, interesting to see,
so yeah,
see
the
how this
Caracal,
develops.
Sorry, you go, Joe.
No. You go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, yeah, the Caracal in general is like quite an advanced line. If you there's a lot of traps White could fall into, but thankfully White in this case hasn't.
So there's two ideas here.
Line for the first move.
And he finds one of them. Yeah.
That was good.
If we go back, the two ideas here were knight takes that pawn or bishop to g5, which is putting lots of pressure on that knight.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have had an exchange of knights go on there.
Yeah, black is up a pawn, which is all you would need from an opening.
You mean white is up a pawn?
Slightly better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. We do have some scheduling news there for everyone in chat. So the winners' final match is being postponed until next week, and that's been mutually agreed by both of the players. There's been some scheduling issues due to work and other commitments. So, but don't worry, we're going to give you some extra chess content instead. Myself and Adrito, we've agreed to have a third place playoff for you, completely unprepared. So I'm sure it'll be quite interesting.
Yeah, should be good.
Yeah, got to give you guys that content.
this game is like basically completely even. I mean, I know White has a slight advantage with the pawn, but realistically at our level, like, it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, indeed. And he's just trading everything off. He's like, I got the pawn advantage, let's just get everything off the board. And I wouldn't be surprised if he just pulls in the rook to d1 here. Just continue with the trend. The
He
king
doesn't like that move, apparently.
The king is slightly vulnerable for White. Actually, if we go back one, rook d4 is a fork between the two. Well, no, it's not really on the h pawn. It's not really on the h pawn, but that b pawn is just very vulnerable in that situation. Okay, whilst we're looking back, we did have the rook exchange on d1, as I did say. So that's where we are right now.
White needs to go for this c6 pawn. That's like a very vulnerable pawn for black. And I think that's what he's trying to do. That's not the correct place to go because you can't go to d4 now because it's protected. This rook lift would be better maybe to e3 would have been better. Or maybe move his king out the way to get the open fire.
So it looks like black the g2 pawn.
It doesn't really matter though, like g3, he misses it.
Yeah, so e takes first, and then you follow up with taking up the g pawn, I think. Yeah, and then you're sort of back to roughly even again. So I think
he's
this
got
should
3 to 1 here, advantage. So
just a reminder, if this one ends in a draw, then we're still tied after the 2 games, and we'll be back to the 3 minute 1 second match style. So that's on the cards.
Back just throwing in checks here. I guess like a1 was a possibility. Pick up the a2 pawn, go to a6 to protect.
And he can even do rook g4 here to offer the trade. And he does.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, and now he has a passed pawn.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in the square, so it should be okay.
He can't protect it either.
No.
And now he's basically lost that pawn.
What? So black should have just left it there and bring his king into the game.
Yeah. Now h5 is dangerous.
+5.
That's what the value of these pawns are now.
I don't see it.
It's what the value of the pawns are.
Yeah.
Because any of these that promote is just big trouble. And he has both sides of the board where he can promote, and black's king can't be 2 places at once.
Well, we got
he's got
both guys from Cillian about are we going to have a 3rd place match for the losers bracket? So that would include me.
Oh.
He's talking about
if everyone's here, we could do it, right? Yeah. We just do some blitz instead of.
Instead of the full version. Yeah, I mean, I am way too tired to continue this until like 1 AM. Just putting that out there.
So we do some blitz instead, have some fun. Like, there's no money on the line or anything. So.
Which is actually answering Sean's question of does 3rd get extra prize money, and the answer is no. We're doing this out of the goodness of our hearts for your entertainment only.
Right, we've got.
Okay, so in this meantime, White's just promoted.
Yeah. So we're likely to see the end of this matchup, and presumably the winner is going to get 2 queens on the board, and it's very close to checkmate here. He just needs to do the ladder.
Checkmate at 1,
Queen, bang.
Very good game in the end.
Whitmeister.
1 point advantage in tandem.
Whitmeister was suggesting a bare knuckle boxing match in the car park if there isn't a winner. So thankfully we avoided that situation. Is that would forget COVID and all that. I think that sounds dangerous to me. So
that's it. Well done to Mark Gell. I guess we'll have on third interview.
Yeah, we'll have the interview with both of them and have a chat about how they felt it went. So we'll just pop in shortly. Next couple minutes we'll have the interview. So stick around.
Is any of this true? Well, that's chess. Actually, John, let's get some insightful questions here. We haven't had many. How were your stress levels? You know, were you sweating? Your heart rate? What was going through your mind?
Check your Fitbit.
So during the games or during the stream?
During the games. I mean, that's chess.
In life.
Very smooth here.
That is so smooth. I'm impressed. Were you actually a radio announcer in your past life?
Like one, Jesus Christ.
I've dabbled. I've dabbled, John.
He's the one that you get like 4 in the morning that no one listens to.
Alright.
It's called, and you may have guessed the title already. It's
Chess.
Alright, and we're with both of the players. So, I mean, first off, congratulations to both of you because you played really, really well tonight.
Thank you.
So just hats off. Okay, Mark Leith, how did you feel those games went? What was your general feeling all throughout that?
I thought it was so even. Mark did really well. I think we're just both so happy to trade all the time. It just cuts so many pieces out of the game. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's a really weird game. But yeah. Very close. I think we're very equal.
And how did you feel about just like the tighter time pressure as well?
I think I was always under time pressure anyway. Like, Mark makes his decisions quicker than me, so it didn't feel too much different from the first game because I was just behind in time anyway.
Yeah, and actually that's quite an interesting point. Mark Farmer, you had basically the same amount of time at the end of that game as you did at the start. You're definitely making moves very quickly.
Yeah, I think probably to my detriment, realistically. I think I'm probably too fast. So really what I need to do is just transition to bullet games and then get good at them and then become a grandmaster. I think that's the logical progression here.
I think it was mainly because you guys traded so quickly for your material. Like, you didn't have to think in complicated positions.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. It just uncomplicated it, and I think we both wanted that.
Yeah, 100%. Except when it gets to the end, it's just pawns, and you can slowly see yourself being shifted to the losing side. It is bleak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think those pawn endings, especially when you've each got 5 pawns left, and it's just your king and those guys, it's quite tricky to try and figure out exactly how you're meant to deal with that.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and Mark Farmer, you were trying to promote, and you indeed succeeded promoting your F pawn into queen. At what point did you realise it was a lost cause?
Oh, basically, I didn't realise it was a lost cause till the turn before I promoted it, and then I was just like, you know what, this wee man has made it this far up the board. The least I can do is give him a crown.
Give the fans something to cheer about for a second.
Yeah. For a split second, the wee lads were happy. They were pleased.
Mark Lee, did you realise that you could catch that pawn, or were you just running for it because you realised it was a danger?
The pawn when he promoted to a queen.
Yeah. Because you chased it for 4 turns.
Yeah, I had a feeling that he was just going to promote it anyway. I had a feeling he was going to do what he did. So I was like, as long as I get near to it on the bottom level, I'll be able to take it.
Cool.
Yeah, do you guys know the concept of the square of promoting pawns? Where the king is in the square to the promotion. So you say in this scenario we had 4 squares to go to because the king was in there. You can never promote.
I did not know about that.
So for the future, if you're trying to look for a promotion, just think of the square. Is the king in the square? And then if it is, you will never promote that pawn. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
It was very good. The games, playing 4 games in a row requires a lot of concentration.
Yeah.
So, no blunders in the last game. So, there was that one pawn blunder that was well converted, but that was it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just very, very solid all throughout. We're genuinely quite impressed, actually.
I'm so glad, because I don't know if that's good. See, when we're playing it, I'm like, this could be terrible.
Yeah,
Like, I
that
have no
literally.
idea.
Exact same.
yeah,
I
Mark,
just
you went for
think-
the Parakan defense a lot. Did you see it
Yeah.
in the main lines? Because both of you played like very mainline for the first like
Yeah.
7-8 moves.
Yeah, so I before, so like yesterday when I found out I was going to be playing Mark, I went and looked at like all the games where he plays white, and I was like, okay, he always does E4 D4, so I'm just going to learn a good counter to that, and that was the Caro-Kann. So then I spent like half an hour today making actual notes about the Caro-Kann, and like what to do if they do this and what to do if they do that. But I think in the second game there, I did do something stupid. I can't remember, towards the beginning, and I immediately was like, "That I shouldn't have done that because that let him get his queen out." I think it was the bishop trade. The
Yeah.
second I did that I was like, "This was stupid. I've let him get his queen out. I should have like retreated." But
That was
I mean,
okay. Queen E6 is off main line. I mean, I'm not sure if it's bad, but it's like not main move.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to get my bishop out, but just felt threatened and needed to get my queen to like help. But
Yeah,
ideally, I would have got my bishop out and then castled, but that didn't go to plan.
Yeah, but it's a very advanced opening to like know well. So it was good that if you only spent half an hour on it, you played it very well.
You can thank my A4 page of notes. Literally, I have like a flow chart that's like, if he moves his knight here, do this.
That's good prep. I think that's quite cool. Yeah, and Mark Beath, you did the Scandinavian defense in one of your games as well. I noticed. It's something that you're also quite familiar with. It's when White does E4, you respond with D5 and you exchange pawns and get your queen out and all that.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I'm quite happy to do that. Just exchanging again. I just want to get everything off the board as quick as possible. That's my plan.
Yeah, and it seems to have worked out for you after all of that.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That concludes the losers bracket of the competition. So, Mark Farmer, you're walking away with £7 of your buy-in back. So hopefully you're not too disappointed with that.
No, I'm not.
You played quite well.
There's no financial incentive here. I'm sad that I got beaten, but it was so close that I don't feel too like. It would have been worse if it was an absolute walkover.
Mm.
Yeah,
and
I
you
was
certainly
only in
put
it
up
for the
a
money,
solid
so
fight.
I'm glad I won.
And you made a small profit, Mark Lee.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly.
Even
Very
more
happy.
than Adrito and I, and we made it to the semi-finals of the winners bracket. So you can
Yeah,
you can rub that in our
deservedly
faces.
so, I'd say. It's a tough slog, the old losers bracket.
You played some really, really fun
There were
games.
some tough games, given that we're supposed to be beginners.
Yeah, very mentally taxing.
Yeah.
So
So definitely, like you are above the 800 ratings that you are. So
That's very kind.
Oh,
Thank you.
too kind.
Something that chat's been going on about quite a lot is how this was the battle of the marks, and actually more important than the prize money was who is best mark. And so I think
Unfortunately,
we now
that
have
crown goes to Mark Lee, I think.
Yeah, I think it was very even. It could have really been either of us.
Yeah, and it actually oh, someone's echoing. I don't know who that is, but yeah.
it's Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny, do you mind muting for a sec? Is that alright?
I'm doing what?
Yeah, you're echoing a little bit. Mark Farmer, you're quite a gentleman about it, saying you're passing the crown over to Mark Leith, but I don't think you really appreciate the gravity of the situation, because now you have to change your surname to 2. You're now going to be Mark 2 from here on out. How do you feel about that?
I mean, if someone else does all the paperwork and that, I guess that's fine.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
I'm not getting involved in any of the like legal stuff.
Okay, well, thank you both for taking part. It's been like loads of fun on our end, just casting the games, and yeah, it's just been fantastic all round.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, John. It's been class. Like,
I've enjoyed this so much that I'm actually kind of willing to host another tournament style thing in the future, season 2 of some sort.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm keen to get involved.
Around like May sort of time.
Season 2 of John Champs.
Yeah, exactly. John Champs, I like that. that's a better name than the one I came up with. I just did CJ's chess tournament in Japanese, and that was all the amount of effort
John Champs might be a bit too close to the bone.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be chess. We can do other things as well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So, I mean, I pumped £40 into a chess.com subscription, so if it's not chess, I'll be pissed.
What if we do something like, I don't know, Age of Empires, or I like competitive Among Us, something like that.
So down for competitive Among Us.
Among Us is just so boring compared to chess.
Chess has a niche, right?
Yeah.
I think chess is a good game, just to like commentate on.
Yeah. It is true. It is true. Well, I am just down for suggestions. Is all I'm saying. And anyone in chat wants to suggest something, we'll take that on board. But yeah, definitely keen for season 2.
Ralph and I are always down for Yu-Gi-Oh, so just throwing it out there.
Yeah, but then I'd have to learn like how to play and all that sort of stuff again. I'm not so sure. It might just be a tournament with just you two. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean's saying Among Us tourney, please.
Yeah.
Whitmeister's saying mud wrestling. That's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll sort this out at some point. But yeah, thanks for joining us. And yeah, we're going to produce some more chess content. I think a matchup between Adrito and I is on the cards. So yeah, we'll get that sorted. So yeah, stick around for that. That should be quite exciting. Yeah. Stay tuned. Exposed king, but all the time that he took earlier in the match is now coming back to bite him.
I wonder if he just does, if he's got tunnel vision so much he can't see it.
Yeah,
or
it
his
is.
solid attack would potentially work.
Yeah, potentially the case.
Come
on, one further square. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, he's almost there. He's almost there. Black only has the one move here, so taking up your time isn't going to help you anymore.
If I'm honest, I quite enjoy the bad manners. Okay, well.
And it's game over. Okay, well he did get it eventually, third time lucky. Missed it twice, but yeah, got there eventually, and that's all that matters. We've got the same opening that we had last game. Just
I love it when they
colours reversed. So clearly they liked it last time.
What I could do is push his pawn up 2 more, and then he gets 4 pawns in a row, which we wouldn't know if we win the game.
Maybe Nick's thinking, if I just don't hang my king like last time.
Yeah.
Ouch. He finds that the bishop was just left hanging. It's going to be a lot harder for White to catch up now. He's saying that the losers bracket is going to be a bloodbath. I think I agree. It's going to be quite tough. Lots of interesting people in there, and that is a massive shift. So I can't see this actually. What's going on here? Queen takes e6. Oh, that's potentially quite nasty. Sorry, what was that, Matt?
I was just saying it looks pretty threatening over here.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
The
The advantage is gone. It was only dangerous if he spotted that queen takes e6 move. Any other move, and it would be back down to neutral.
Yes, then he can win with check on the knight maybe. And no, then it's just taken.
Yeah, I think the reason why that is so dangerous is because this d-file rook is going to have quite a lot of synergy with the queen in quite an advanced square like that.
Oh, but he can do the same thing again.
Yeah, same option. Same option. It very well could be that neither player spots this the entire game, and we'll just see the boss swinging every single turn. Question is, and he spots it.
Yes.
He spots it.
Taking it, nice.
Well done.
Oh,
Yeah, it's going to be hard for Josh, which is quite interesting because if Nick manages to. All right, and we are back with my game with Adrito, completely spontaneous. We haven't prepared for this at all, but yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Just a little bit of extra content for you. We're just doing just the one rapid game between Adrito and I, so we'll see how this goes. And we'll see if he gives me the Evans Gambit possibility. If not, then we'll just do an Italian game. Ah, that's a shame. Yeah, does it still work? No, not really. Oh well, whatever. Yeah, something that Sean suggested was competitive code names, which I am 100% down for. I think that's like a fantastic idea. So I'd be keen to give that a go. Now I could play this up with like a fianchetto maybe, but I'm also just feeling like castling straight away. Yeah, that is fair enough. I don't have too much of an idea of what I'm trying to accomplish though, which is a slight negative. If I do something like that, he's probably going to initiate the trade, but actually that's not so bad for me because I can date back with the bishop. And that is actually looking fairly tasty. As well. Although that actually doesn't work. If I do that first, actually does it work? Let's see. Takes, 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 takes. Oh, that is a lot of taking, but actually it does work out. Right. Actually it doesn't, because then that falls, I think. Well, we'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. He's thinking. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what tricky ideas he might have, but I think I want to do that at some point. Okay. Is this such a terrible idea? Well, we'll do that one first. So let's calculate this. So we've got this, that takes, yeah, not great for me. And could do something like this maybe. This. Okay, let's calculate this again. I think he has to take it, right? I've got some very aggressive ideas going on here, including this one, which is very tasty. And he's blocked it, which is definitely fair enough. If I do something like this, he can just go past me, but then that's great. I am just completely using the fact that he is boxed in his king. I'm just trying to do a checkmate idea on this side. I'm expecting this. In which case I think just slide over. But then he might do that, which completely diffuses my plan actually. I guess if he does that, maybe I just take the pawn, right? He's taking his time. I think what he certainly shouldn't do is either this or this. Those are both mistakes. That is solid. That's very solid, actually. Are there any tricks I can do here? Checking his king doesn't do anything. Yeah, I don't really want to exchange queens either. I could just do this and have a strong centre. I think that's better than using the rook actually. I could have done that maybe. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, no, that wouldn't have worked. I also have this sort of potential. But I think he might just go for the trade. Yeah, okay, I think he ended up slightly ahead on that one, unfortunately. I really wanted to get a bishop or a queen there. Yeah, this bit's always tricky. Yeah. Which one do I take with... Or this one? Need to make sure I don't hang my my rook at all. Yeah, that was the right one. Yeah, okay. Before I use this rook as protection for this guy, I actually need to do the rook trade. So I need to keep that in mind. Okay, he just goes for it. That's fine. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have moved it there. Damn it. Actually, yeah, I mean that. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. I am a pawn down now. This is tense. This is very tense. It's not straightforward. I think I like that, because then we do a pawn trade, right? Yeah, he has to do this. It's his only move. And then I get the pawn. which is fine as far as I'm concerned. Oh, yeah, okay. That also works for him. I think down is a mistake. I think up is better. Okay, what can you do? Yeah, up is better. He takes that pawn, but then I take his pawn. Yeah, I think that was a miscalculation on my move. My end, actually. Oh, I can't go to either of these. That's a real pain, actually. Yeah, I have to take the pawn, he takes that one. It's offering the rook trade, which would be definitely bad for me. No, I'm attacking two different pawns. That's actually quite nasty for me. He didn't see it. I am so jammy. Okay, if I go here, or do I need to advance first? Yeah, I would have been in major trouble if it went there. Yeah, you can't get in front of it. Oh, my heart is racing now. Yeah, okay, I see what he's doing. Okay, let's think this through. If I do this, he advances the pawn, I take he gets a queen, that's not good. I move all the way back, he moves his king there. Oh, bugger. I think he's got this. I move king forward. He does that. I get a queen. He takes it. I take him, and then it's king. Yeah, that doesn't work at all. If I do this, he gets a queen, then we both have queens, right? He has to sack his rook for the sake of getting the queen. That's his best move here. If he does anything else, I think I've won. Oh, damn. I think he may have just blundered, actually. Possibly. If he does that, then yeah. Can I do some sort of check on his king, maybe? This is just looking dire for me. yeah, this isn't working out. I mean, I can trade the rooks. That's kind of the best thing I'm coming up with at the moment, but I think this is all lost. Delays the inevitable. I guess that's what it's got going for it. Potential discovered check. Give it a go. Oh, bugger. Yeah, just go for the rook trade, man. Okay, finish me off. Let's do this. Okay, I want to stay as close to the centre as possible. Which way do I have the most chances? This is just painful. Oh, please. Please stalemate me. Oh. Yeah, game over.
Oh, that was like insanely close.
Yeah, I mean, it's not often that you have a game that goes 81 moves. I got 7 blunders in that, but still an accuracy score of 81.
Yeah, I had 2 blunders, but like...
Oh man, how did I miss... What was I meant to do here? Okay. Oh, C3. I should have taken your queen. Ah, yeah. I didn't want to give up on my sorry, this is turn 17 I'm looking at. Yeah, I didn't want to...
You had a very strong attack on that.
I didn't want to give it up. I just didn't want to give it up.
All I could do here is offer the queen trade. Like,
yeah. I should have gone for it.
Take it. Yeah. I just thought because opening that G file was my plan, and then take on
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to go for it. Yeah, because you
had
take
such
that.
a strong attack on the queen side that had I not like exchanged, I would have definitely lost. So.
Yeah, I was hoping when I pushed my pawn to A5, like either you progress your pawn or you take, because then I think that's checkmate, isn't it? Or it's like it's very close at least.
Yeah, if I took it would have been mate. If I let you take it and take them backwards, yeah, A8 was checkmate. So I was like,
yeah.
And like if you had your queen still active, there were like so many traps I could have fallen into as well.
Yeah. That's why I was so keen to avoid it.
That was a blunder.
Which one? Which one?
My bishop move after you could have taken, and then you take the pawn and like apparently I'm losing something. I lose like a rook or something in that.
Oh yeah, I missed win on turn 18, which I think is what you're talking about. I should have shifted my queen over, and I did consider this, but I thought you could have just pushed your own pawns on B and C, and that would have diffused it. But I guess I miscalculated.
Yeah. I should have taken the queen after I offered the exchange, but and that would have been I'd have taken a lot of the pressure away.
Oh man. Yeah, I just watched our viewers drop right down to like 1 after once we started our game. So I think this was mostly just for our own amusement. Anyone who's watching on YouTube, basically. But
I know a few of my friends because they messaged me congrats after, so maybe it was 1 or 2 of them.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. But yeah. That game could have gone quite differently at various points, but yeah, I think you had quite a significant advantage in the whole like pawn versus rooks and situation because my pawn structure was terrible.
Yeah.
But I think
apparently I was completely winning at like I was like -4 or something.
-4.
Right at the start, but I did not obviously see the best moves every time.
Yeah, I mean they're difficult to find, right? And
I was quite low on time too, so even though with the 5-second increment, like I just had to play moves within 5 seconds because I was just constantly losing time otherwise.
Yeah, I hung mate in 1. Oh my days!
When was this?
Turn 49. How did I miss that? How did you miss that? Turn 49, mate.
10:30:49.
Yeah.
Let's checkmate. After you move. Oh my god!
How did I hung mate in 1? I did not process that at all. I was just so focused on like promoting this pawn, right?
Yeah.
That was like the
And I
entire
was like,
game.
I can take this pawn and bring the rook back for defense. That was like, I was 20 seconds down. I was not going to be thinking, oh yeah, h3 is checkmate.
Yeah.
But that would have been a very good ending.
But either way, that move turned it, like even though you missed the mate, it then turned it into like a plus or -5. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, I should have checked your king and forced it away from that square. But I will.
I think it would just be repetition at that point.
Oh yeah, probably actually.
Yeah. Because I would not try. I would always go back to the e6 square.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't let you get into d7 to attack my pawn from behind. So it would just be repetition and draw. Oh yeah, very good then. I guess there's no point in teaching if we don't have any viewers.
Yeah, people on YouTube, it'll be fine. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'll end the stream there, but it was actually quite a lot of fun playing against you.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Cool. Well, good night, mate. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a good week, and we'll